Good.
I had a pending order here at 1937. Hey Al, how are you, mate? I had a pending order here and I removed it. Literally right there. I removed it last night. I was thinking it was going to be for after we pushed down here and then did the wick fill and then we're going to rebound, but then I didn't leave it overnight. I don't know, I think it's a bit dumb now that I think about it, because I made the idea for the day. I didn't even consider just leaving it overnight for the agent session. Yesterday was challenging, I found. I mean, it was easy, but there was a lot of near misses. So I got a little little sell in the drop, but then I didn't hold it, and then was looking for buys here, but it reacted from the 40 first, and then I took a little sell in here. Had to cut that one. That one didn't work. Didn't like the price action. And I'd flagged this blue zone, and it just missed. But then I took a sell up in here, down here somewhere in the stream, moved 1-to-1, came back up, took me out, and then took another little sell later on, and it was just slow going. So I ended up just left it at break even, got taken out for break even, and then it just made its way back down to the target. And I was looking to buy from here, remove this order overnight, triggered it, it would have triggered it, and then it would have been a beautiful move. So, annoying, man, annoying. Yeah, it was kind of annoyed me yesterday. Anyway, looking beautiful now for buys. Resume this uptrend. You know, flagged this area yesterday in the like we've got this huge area of accumulation, and we're just tapping into the top of it. We're gonna have reactions from there. It's a given. We did. Anyway, let's have a look at German 40. So German 40, we pushed down out of the blocks yesterday, as usual, did full correction, and now we're getting some comments out of Germany, some talking up the economy, other sources saying that some of these new regulations and changes coming into the Eurozone are going to hamper business. Going to see which narrative takes more weight. Could be a little bit choppy. Don't really have any news scheduled. Had retail sales for pound, came out good, but then there's nothing now until USD. So financial juice, how about that one? I'll find these comments that they were saying. We've got PCE later on today for US session. It was late last night, so looks like this debt ceiling is starting to take shape now. What's going on with AUD? What do you mean?
It's just gotten strength all of a sudden. I don't know if it's just a
Nah, it's USD going down.
retrace or yeah.
It's USD. It's the Chinese, those Chinese people.
Okay.
I don't mean anything bad about that. I'll show you the report. It was the bank. All right, I'll find it. So where are these comments? It doesn't matter. I'm going to flick over to, we'll watch it, the price action. Still, there's no agreement that there's a deal taking shape. It's all drama. It's all just drama. Okay. Anyway, we saw NZD and Aussie start to gain a bit of strength, but it was really the Asian pairs, right? Were gaining a bit of strength. And it's not so much that that they gain in strength. It was that there was a concern that US dollar was getting so strong, right? And it was weighing down all the Asian pairs. So what China embarked on was selling their Chinese yuan, selling off USD. Let me find it.
Yeah, okay. So that'll have a
Yeah, I
strong
mean,
effect on the Aussie.
we saw interventions last year when US dollar was getting so strong that JPY was selling US dollars, and so did Swiss. Morning, George. I'll find it. It was a report. It showed that they were selling US dollars in the spot market. Oh, I just have to Google it. CNY selling. You see, you see various sources over time, but it did pop up. Let me check my other source, Forex Live. There we go. China's state-owned banks intervening to support yuan, selling USD. So, it's not going to have a major effect, but you just got to think everything's supply and demand, right? So if they're selling USD, that's adding to the supply of USD. So USD should have a little negative effect. And in the Euro and the London and the New York session, it's not going to have much of an effect because of just the size of the volume from the other economies. However, in the Asian session, which is has less volume, you will notice that effect. So what we saw, and we've just been pushing down so strongly, right? But you'll see that US dollar faded out a bit. Okay, so that was due to supply demand. Okay, all of a sudden, a bit more supply. All of a sudden, US dollar comes down a bit. Because it makes things more difficult for other economies when the US dollar is so strong, when they have to pay in US dollars, right? So whilst the interest rate differential is quite high amongst these other currencies, all the talk is of, we can have a look at. Let's go to their website. So we've seen this. Remember what it was like? It had gone up and down. Now it's at 41%. So now they're really starting to. It's becoming almost equal odds whether they're going to hike at the next meeting in 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks away. And there's still talks of a pause. So they're still, but it's not. It's almost certain that they're going to go higher. But it's just, is it this meeting or the next meeting? So what we see is the odds are at the next meeting, they are actually in fact going to pause. But then the next one after, July, you see that the odds are by far is increased. They've even added the chance that we could do two consecutive hikes, or one bigger size hike of half, 50 basis points. But now the probability is at the next meeting, interest rates are going to go higher than where they are currently. So this is just leading to USD strength and demand. Okay, so whilst that's happening, it's going to put a lot of strain on other economies. We saw a perfect example of that when other countries' currencies started to intervene, when US dollar was back in October, November last year, up here, the US dollar index. I'll get rid of this chart. This is US. This is the Dixie. So basket measure on the basket of all the US currencies minus Aussie and New Zealand. but let's look at US yen. So it looks very similar, right? This has put in massive, massive strain on other countries when US dollar is worth so much. So, and when it's an extreme example where you've got a country that has when they're hiking and tightening versus a currency that has a loose monetary policy like yen, where they're not hiking, that's just increasing the differential between the interest rates between the two countries. So the higher interest rates, easier for, like if you could borrow money from Japan for negative interest rates and pop it into a country that has high interest rates, you're going to be making, the difference in the interest. And it's kind of a similar idea, that why there's more demand for one, because you're going to get better interest rates. So whilst that's terrible for other countries, this is, at this point, they've kind of got no choice but to start to intervene. Then that's selling off holdings of US dollars that they have, increasing the supply of back into the pool. So what happened was we saw a fade, and now we started seeing only the first little signs that it was happening again, and that was with China's intervention. So we saw US dollar fade a little bit, go back to Dixie, just a touch, just fade off a little bit. And then what that led to wasn't US dollar gaining strength or New Zealand gaining strength, it was just US dollar losing strength. So US dollar lost ground on them all. Pull up any currency strength, and you'll see that US dollar would be one of the worst performers for today so far. Makes sense? So see down here, down the bottom.
Yeah, thank
US
you.
dollar, down the bottom, Aussie Kiwi.
Yeah.
Up the top. Not going to change anything generally because the policies are very poor at the moment. Aussie's looking at hiking, and they've got one of the lowest interest rates going around now, apart from like Swiss and yen. They're the next lowest, so they're therefore the next weakest. But New Zealand's had a lot of attention lately because they've just hiked and they've got one of the highest, but now they've signaled that they've paused. So all of a sudden, it just led to a lack of demand for it because they've just said we're peaked. Anyway, we've got 5 minutes till German. Let's have a look at all this. Okay, so 4 hour. It's been after this initial push down yesterday. We've just been trapped back up into this range again. We're still very bullish, right, in the trend. We'll just come back to second structure. Okay. 2 hour chart. Not very much to see. It's kind of tricky being inside of this range. We don't have clear traffic either direction. So we've got some volume. This is the opening hour of Frankfurt Open, and we've got a bit of volume. We've already done a little bit of a liquidity grab. This was the opening hour yesterday, and we've done something similar. I'm not sure if we're going to push down. I think this time we're looking, if this is the liquidity grab, we might be easier to push up to go into some of these little areas. We've got an accumulation over here, so that'll be quite interesting to see what happens at this point, if we can push up into it. And this could just be correcting some of this move. 30 minute. Could take the break up to maybe 15,900. Looks like equal highs over there, doesn't it? So that could be a bit of a target. I wonder if we're going to do I wonder if it's going to be a clean move or not. got another equal high here where we just approached. Quite a bit of volume in this Euro Open, over 100, over 50 pips, 55 pips. So, good to see. Don't really want to go against this volume. Got little 3-minute rejection candle. In hindsight, yesterday was the clearest day. That was a little bit dumb on my part to miss that. I'll do a review of the Bot trades as well later on, but you saw my report. Essentially just close them all as usual as part of the plan. If I'm not really doing anything by the time I get up, let's get out of it. Got a minute and a half, so taking yesterday's New York high, London high is just across here. I'm more inclined just to go with this volume, but I don't want to take that break. I'm looking for it to, we know that very often you're going to get that correction, or if it pushes up, comes down, and then I'll look to go again. Am I only using it for the Asian session? Yeah. No, like I do put it on during the day as well. But I am a bit more focused on my manual trading for London session and New York session, and that when I'm doing the market ideas in the evening, then I'm doing the two streams that I've been doing. And then I've got other stuff I need to do during the day as well. I find I'm getting a bit burnt out with screen time, so I'm not actually concentrating enough to put it on during the day, because I've got I just prefer to be a bit more laser focused on what I'm, and I've felt in the last couple of days, in this week, I've been a little bit made some mistakes I don't normally make in my trading. All right, here we go. This is the open. Let's go to all chart view. At the moment it's looking like it's doing the same thing as it did yesterday, didn't it? But I'm expecting this one to break out a little bit. So I'd like to see if it can fail to break down here. So going with the same move as yesterday, it would have been a break of that low. I think what's tough today is that my bias is unclear due to having sold off for basically this whole week. But now we're at a very sensitive zone, and now we're stuck in this range. So really we're in like this. This is where most of that traffic is. So I'm a bit cautious about fake outs either side. So Monday sold, Tuesday sold, Wednesday sold massively, Thursday ranged. So could we leave? Could we push down and then eventually drift our way higher today? And then what that's going to do is leave us a bottom wick on the weekly. So yeah, I'm going to lean towards buys. But I'm cautious of the break higher. I think and London can pull back a little bit. Get rid of some of these lines so I don't get confused. These are monthly levels. While I'm waiting for this to do its thing, let me just have a look. So the one's taken, Aussie US. Because remember the stats, was most of them just work out eventually. It's just I don't like holding them through. So Aussie hasn't pulled back yet. Other one was Euro New Zealand. Euro US. Oh yeah, Euro US is looking alright. And the last one, New Zealand US. Good one. Alrighty. So back to first structure. So let's see if something can close inside of here. So remember that we can often get a 1-to-1 at least equal volume of the opening hour candle. So this is in this green bit, this is the opening hour volume of Frankfurt Open, and London volume can often push it, unless we're going to be range bound, it can push it 1-to-1 either way. Maybe less when we're in a bit more of a range like this. But I'd be looking for potentially rejections from here. What's the 1 minutes look like? We've got some nice little rejection candles forming. Closed inside structure. Should now go to the bottom of here. But it can do that as well. But it should, now that we've closed inside of here, it should be able to make its way down to here. Perhaps we'll come down all the way to this 15-minute liquidity grab. Give a retest. I think that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for my first opportunity. The price can overshoot through this blue area, and then give a bit of a price action entry from here. Or we're just doing a 50% pullback and then go long. I'm sticking my bias longs though for this initial session. But I've definitely want to trade inside of these wicks, unless we negate them. That 3-minute candle's looking nice so far. Got another minute and a half, so halfway through its lifespan. Got a doji on the 5. Triple rejections here. So it's going down further. But we know that because it closed inside of a structure. This is the same thing it did yesterday. Remember it gave this little move? All right. Looks like these two are going to win out. So we want this, let this one close. Then you've got to go away from these wicks, trade away from these wicks, rather than these wicks. Alright, I entered. See if we can now push up and through here. Target. I'm going to target 15. Hopefully we can get to 15,900 today in this initial push. Not out of the woods yet though. This is like, it's a dicey area because we're ranging, right? So looking for this around here, hopefully. Because we left a doji here though. This is the only concern I've got. Is that we fill this structure. I'm treating this as negation. So that's the plan. Entry was, no, it's a little bit higher than that. I want to see another rejection. Otherwise, I think we're coming down here, and I'd rather just enter from here. Yeah, okay. Gonna, if we're breaking these lows, I'm gonna just cut this one. Hi Eddie, 50 MA on the hour, is it? Yeah, it's in this range area, yeah. It's a tricky area. Yeah, get out of it. Cut that. Don't like that. Don't like the way it rejected here. Where's your 50 EMA? So on the 5-minute chart, that's where your 50 is.
Good afternoon, Hayden.
Hey, actually, how you, mate?
Yeah, good. I think yesterday you closed the stream a little bit early. Did you got the entry somewhere?
On the on gold?
And yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I got 1-to-1 and then it came back, stopped me out for break even.
Okay.
Look at this candle, yeah. Gonna have to wait for this to give it another go later on.
For German 40, I think we wanna push to the downside.
You think so?
Just based upon higher time frame. Can you go to the daily first?
Mm-hmm.
So on daily, we have this doji right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have already taken out this doji. We created a new high. So for to consider price wanted to push to the upside, or we are just coming back to in this area for the again push to the downside. We need a liquidity here. So this is the first liquidity you can see. Now on 4 hour. So on 4 hour, this was the doji candle form here, and what this doji did was on the left side, it took out the HCS on the left side. So which one? I think, yeah, okay, yes, got it. So this was the HCS. So this HCS was broken. So why price broke that HCS? That means they wanted to push the price to the downside, and when price was pushing to the downside, we again generated this liquidity in the form of we created a doji candle on the 4 hour. Now either price going to taken out this doji high, or we can simply just taken out there was a 2 hours liquidity also here where price got rejected. So maybe price just grab that liquidity and now we are ready to push to the downside. So first target either can be this one, and overall target can be that daily doji was here at the low. So price may go to that area. Maybe from that area we can get our buys again, short-term buys. I'm not sure we can again push to the upside based upon the global economy right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Now here, can you go to the 2 hours now? So on 2 hours, this was the doji was here. Doji was here. This is also the doji one, and this is a FE candle. So price already grabbed the liquidity. This is, you can say, the last area of liquidity. And after that we can just push to the downside. It all depends upon how this 2 hour candle close. If the 2 hour candle closing bearish one, or just closing below this wick, That's it's a confirmation that we already grab enough liquidity and we can now push to the downside. On 3 hours, so on 3 hours also, this was the doji was here. So price already taken at that doji high, and right away we are just rejecting to that area. So we can push to the downside based upon this thing. So continuation to the downside. Maybe on hourly we may just do one more push up after this hourly close, and maybe after grabbing that liquidity we can again push to the downside, because we already grab enough liquidity from this area. But on hourly we close that hourly candle don't have a topic, so probably next hourly candle can come back one more time to the upside, grab that liquidity, or we can even left that liquidity for the future to push to the downside, and maybe we can reach to that daily 15,720 area, this area where you mark. Maybe we can reach to that area then.
Yeah, lots of rejection areas up here. So I was hoping we could do that push and then do that drop. So I was really hoping for. We're just range bound, unfortunately. So like I was
do you have any kind of news this week for the German?
No, that's why I was hoping we we're going to create like a bit of a bottom wick that this had grabbed liquidity, and then we're going to do something like this, like have a candle looking like this, but with that
Yeah,
top
I saw
wick.
that. Yeah, I saw this thing, but in this area, if you see, no manipulation happen on the even on 30-minute. I think on hourly also, we did not create any kind of manipulation. I mean, there's just a higher time frame. A lower time frame, we did the manipulation for buys, but a higher time frame, we did not do any kind of manipulation. Let's
Yeah,
say
it's just the
hourly.
usual pullback.
Yeah.
All right, we're back into this range now, to the bottom of the range. Damn it, that would have been the perfect entry for a sell. Just to play the range.
Yeah, you took a buy. That's why I didn't say anything. You just I don't want to, because some people also that was your analysis. Maybe I can be wrong at that time. It could have just pushed to the upside to take out that doji high also, that 4-hour doji high.
It's all good. That's why you got to be quick to just, if you're not liking it, just get out of it.
Yeah. And this is also the hourly area for me. If you go to the left side, yeah, so just mark this as a overlay, this order block, last bearish candle before we push to the upside. No, not the whole, just the body. Yeah. So here a lot of rejection happen on this level. When we push to the upside, we act as a support.
Yeah, we need to close above that, and it will be good for that for that push up.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if there isn't that push up though. Still.
Maybe that can happen in the NY session.
No, we normally do get corrections in the same session. It's like if we look at it, it's very rare that we'll get looking at these pink areas. not very rare, but it's rare that we don't get like a decent pullback, and often that we'll get a push one way and then it'll overcorrect and move again. So like we normally get a one to one push in a lot of the time. So this is your one to one, and we'll get a push and it grabs liquidity to do the correction, or the other way around. Problem is we're range bound here, so maybe we can just be flipping and bouncing around, kind of like what happened on Thursday last week. Inside of, where was it? Well, no, wait, Tuesday, sorry. Tuesday was PMI. So we still got like, no, it wasn't one to one, but it was just range bound. So maybe we'll stay in this range. Just seems like it's difficult to break out one way or another.
If you go to the 15-minute, you will see how the last area of liquidity was there. This was the fast move happened from this area to push to the downside. And if I mark the just this high, you will see the price just today just taken out that high and retested to this.
Yeah, that's the thing that got me uncomfortable. As soon as we started failing here, I was like, oh, it's happening again.
And usually the order blocks are like when this, you can consider this is a 15-minute order block, when price push to the downside, and when the price is coming back, it coming back like a corrective way. It's not like coming like a V-shaped recovery. It just pull back again, come back again, pull back. Did a lot of consolidation, and then again last time, maybe this may be last time where price can again start moving to the downside.
Yeah, we'll see. But good point. That's good observation there.
I think both the time when we tap into that area, we kind of left the liquidity. Like here, this was the doji liquidity was left here, but now here we somewhat not like a, obviously we left the imbalance candle, but with the index, it's a visual thing, like a price fluctuate, like sometimes it did not show the wicks.
Yeah.
Price open a little bit higher. When we close here, it just open a little bit higher and it just immediately got rejected.
See what it does down the bottom here. This, we're just going to stay range bound. We're going to break out. We need news. We did have UK retail sales. How did you go with gold yesterday?
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, yeah. No, I didn't got anything yesterday. That trade, the previous trade, I just left it like a 0. I mean the 0
From Wednesday.
5%. Yeah, 5% was remaining there. It was more like more than 400 pips.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yesterday I did it because I think previous day we talk about that if the daily candle is closing bearish, we did the negation thing on the daily. Then probably next day we again going to drop. Like yesterday we're going to drop. It's just we have to look for the entry in the lower time frame.
Mm.
I analyzed the chart after, but it was little bit difficult. 30-minute was I saw the lot of 30-minute HCS, but on 5-minute or 1 minute it was difficult entries.
Yeah, I find when, so say for the daily, it was all good leaving from these highs and coming down, but now as soon as we get into this area, that's where it can be like you get these flash crashes underneath these wicks. So that was a fairly easy one. But now that once we're in this area, I mean, I was only looking for buyers today, but I'll have to wait until later on. But now that we're inside of these areas, same as German, it was like once we've fallen so much and we're into this area, it can start to get very dicey. So the movement isn't very nice.
I think we broke the FU candle here. This was FU on which time frame? Maybe on 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute as well as 5-minute.
I think we might I wonder what's going to happen here. At the moment, this is very similar to what happened yesterday, and then it just proceeded to crash.
Yeah, just drop.
Yeah.
I'm targeting this thing. Let's see if price can tap into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it should do now.
This is the area. This is a 4-hour area for me. So if price is rejecting, maybe we can just do based upon this one, this order block.
Look at the liquidity grab on that.
Yeah. Now you can see that 2 hours, how the 2 hours was closing. Just anticipation that the 2 hours going to close bearish.
Yeah.
Now it become much more clear based upon this was FU, this was just retest to that FU. Now if this 2 hour is closing bearish, we are continue pushing to the downside then.
Yeah. Damn, man, I hate missing these.
Yeah, switching bias is difficult.
Yeah. It's more that why, like, how did I get manipulated here? That's the thing that pisses me off. Is like, what did I miss now? Now I've got to go back over and think about it. But now it's like just watching it. Where I don't want to just sit and watch it. I want to work out what I was doing wrong.
I think that 4 hour was the clue that we wanted to push to the downside.
Yeah. What confused me though was this from here. This is what confused me. Why did it reject from here and then pull back and then to give this candle again? And then that's what I was thinking. Like, we've done the retest, broken this high, and I thought we'd be have a chance to break out.
Maybe if this candle could have just closed like a strong one, usually the HCS setup can start like if candle closing inside the wick. This candle should have to close inside this wick.
Yeah.
Then it could have been considered as a HCS, but this wasn't like a perfect HCS. Yeah, maybe this candle was a rejection, but this candle did not close inside above this. If that could have, if that could have happened, then we are just continue pushing and maybe taken out this high. For example, one second. Yeah, for example, this candle, this broke the low and it closed inside that wick. Even if this candle could have closed like a bearish one, that's still considered as a manipulation.
Yep. No, I'm going to see what this one does. Let's see how the hour closes. A beautiful move. 100 pips. $90 pips. See you, mate. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a Wickfield now. 100%.
Yeah, big fill and maybe tap into this area. Possibility.
Yeah. I mean, look at the weekly candle. It was just all down. This is definitely just a short squeeze. And then just plain sell off. Damn it, man. I'm just annoyed. How are these other ones doing? Oh, gold as well. Gold had a good move today. There's other thing. I had a buy limit that I took off last night for here.
And that could have been like 200 pips.
Yep. Yep. All right. Pound Aussie. every 5-minute candle since then. It's just been trending lower. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. You guys hold on to the robot trades? They look like coming back now. Still holding, yeah, good one.
Or EU buys or sells.
They were sells.
Okay.
Yeah, they were sells.
I think looking good for the sells. Still, price is respecting the HCS on the upside. This HCS.
Yeah.
And price is still pushing to the downside.
Yeah. The Aussie US sells, Euro US sells, Kiwi US sells, Euro New Zealand buys.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting into now. Can get retracement. And then it goes again.
By the way, those people are which are active on the Discord, share your ideas, guys. Don't be just backseater. Just share your ideas so you can get some little bit confidence about sharing. Maybe your analysis may be wrong, but it's not matter about the it's right or no. It's just sharing your idea and just following your plan based upon that.
You're preaching to the converted here. There's the 130 others that that are too shy. Alrighty, well, I'm not going to I missed the move. Absolutely missed the move now. So I'm gonna go. I need to look at this. Should have just gone with the trend. Just stick with the 4-hour direction. Annoying end of the week. The week started perfectly, and then I've felt frustrated since Wednesday. Since Wednesday, I felt like I've had many plus 1-to-1s or many starts, and then ultimately it just reverses and like the 1-to-1 like I've either gotten out of the trade or been stopped out of the trade for break even, and then it just tanks, or it's been up a little bit in positive, comes back, break even, and then it's just dumped, and I'm annoyed that why I was looking for the wrong one. So the end of this week, and then when you look back at it, you're like, how clear was it? And that's what's so frustrating. Is I guess it's just trading. It's just about managing. Not going to get it right every single time, but it's still annoying that I walk away with like a small loss now, a small loss for the day, and then see this clean move. And now I'm not gonna take another trade because I'm feeling a little frustrated for missing this move. So now I need to, and I'm frustrated about missing this. And all my robot trades overnight netted me a break even, basically. Maybe plus 7 pips. Anyway, it is what it is. Can't do nothing. Can't fight the market. Cannot fight the market.
No, it's just a trading thing. Sometimes some weeks are going to be really good, and some weeks are going to be really like frustrated. Why haven't just took that trade or
Yeah,
yeah, you just
absolutely.
obviously if you are staying in the game for the longer trade, eventually you are going to win. Win will be bigger than compared to the losses.
Mm,
Yeah, same thing happened with me also sometimes that why didn't I took that trade?
yeah,
And when I took that based on I did not took that trade and just it moved like more than 200 or 100 pips after that.
yeah. That's like yesterday. Yesterday I took the on gold. This is what killed me. Was not taking this sell from where are we? Friday, Thursday. Not taking this sell. Price pushed down, came up, strong close, take the sell. And time I got in, I got it on the after the news when it was pushing down, and this is where I got in. Price pushed down, came back up and came down, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it ended up closing it literally at the top of that wick. Closed it there, and then about a few seconds later it dropped again, and then I just waited and waited and waited and missed all of this, and then I was like, this is my area from here, and then and then watched it just retrace all that way, took a sell. Oops. Oh god, come on, man. Took a sell in here in the 1 minute. No, this is 1 minute, sorry. Took a cowboy trade here. As it was pushing down, pushed a little bit, and this candle closed, so I closed it, and then price pushed up. Then I took a sell about here. I think I was on the stream yesterday. That was about where the sell was. Pushed down nearly 1-to-1. Came up, stopped me out. Dropped. No. Yeah, stopped me out. And then
Yeah, this was a confirmation for that sell
yeah, stopped me out.
with this candle.
I was a little bit early. Then it fell, and then I got in for sells later on at 49 for here. Going for a sell here, and then price, or from that, and then price pushed down, ended up closing that trade for about here.
Oh,
About
nice.
So 40, like a 40 pip move. I was going for 50, but 40 pip move, and then I went and just did other things. And then I had when I was doing my video last night, took my buy limit off from 1937, and missed all of this. Now German's doing the retrace. Doing that retrace now. Anyway, what time is it? 5 minutes to 9. So end of my trading time. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go take care of some things, and we'll have New York session later on. All right.
Yeah.
Well done catching this move. Beautiful 100 pip move, basically. Yeah, 100 pips now from the top. So great job. 103 pips.
Yeah, no, but not exactly getting at the high.
No, no, exactly. But I mean, like the volume, there was good volume.
Yeah,
So that's the thing we should be taking note of. The average
yeah,
volume per candle. Good one. Well, guys. Well, I shall speak to you later.
yeah. See you, man. See you at NY.